I did was I started with $1,000. And then I said, what would happen if I added $100 to this every month? And I calculated interest monthly. And I did that for 100 years at 6% interest. And that's what this line is. Okay, year 0, year 100, and this is what the red line is. And what I want you to notice, this is, by the way, the miracle of compound interest. So if you don't have retirement accounts, or if you haven't put any money away, even small, tiny amounts of money, could be $5 a week, whatever, in the market, this graph should encourage you to think about doing that. And you don't have to get risky, doesn't really matter. This is 6% interest over 100 years. Now, none of you are going to live to be 100 years, but, well, I don't know, maybe you will. Okay, but listen, look what happens. It goes along for about 40 years, and nothing happens. And now I want you to notice the numbers over here. So 535. We get to about 40 years, literally nothing happens. It's almost like a savings account. You know what I mean? You're kind of just putting money in a savings account, and you're stashing it away. Then something starts to happen, and you're continuing to put just $100 a month. And then just look at when you start to get up here to 60 years, 70, 80, 90, 100. You're up into almost $9 million. $9 million. Because this is the miracle of compound interest, right? Didn't Einstein call it the 11th wonder of the world or something like that? This is the miracle of compound interest, okay? Now, watch what happens if someone starts in year 0 and somebody else starts in year 60. And in year 60, they do the exact same thing. First off, notice, see the green line down here? Right at the bottom? That's actually your $100 added up with no interest whatsoever at the end of 100 years. So it's $1,200 times 100, okay? But now watch what happens if someone starts at year 60. And look, I drew this line in, but it's going to basically kind of look like that. And so you think like, wow, if you get a head start. See, everybody who does investing tells college students like you all, start investing now. Because that's what this is. Even if it's $5 a month, it doesn't matter. Okay, y'all, you got that? This is the miracle of it. So look what happens to these people who get a head start. You blow it out of the water. You're like, oh my God. When we look at household wealth, what we're looking at is, you take all of your assets and you subtract your debt. An asset would be the amount of money you have, for example, in your house, and the debt would be the amount of the percentage of your house that the bank owns still, right? Because if you have a mortgage. And so you might live in $1 million house, but maybe you only put $50,000 into that house, and so you're not a millionaire. You're not $1 million homeowner. You're a $950,000 homeowner because the bank owns $950,000 of it, not you. Okay, so look at this is everything we owned. The blue is 1983, so this is past change in household wealth, right? This is median household wealth for all white people put together. We add up all their assets and we subtract their debts, and then we look at what it is, and it's about $350,000 in 1983, and it goes up in 2013 to about $650,000. And then look at black people in 1983, comparatively speaking, and then look at black people, comparatively speaking, in 2013. It's like, So what happened to black people? This is my question, right? What happened with black people? Right? Why is it so disproportionate? What's the issue here? And so we started with the other slide. And so that's a clue into something of where we're going here, right? But let's go to so we're going to say like, well, is it going to stay like this? Or, because, slavery's over and civil rights happened and we had a half-black president, and all sorts of things, right? And then we had Donald Trump, who by his own admission loves black people. And so black people should be in a very different place. So like, how's it going to go moving forward? Because now, especially, we have all this multiculturalism, and we have all these programs that are supporting black entrepreneurs and black this and black that, and black people on television and black people in the cinema, and oh my God, it's just like everywhere you turn, it's like it's more and more about black people. And so the question is like, okay, where's it going to go now? Because things are changing, right? So here's 2013. So right here, the white one, right here, about $650,000 in 2013. Go ahead. I shifted it. So that's the white one in 2013. And then 2043, the estimates as to where black people are going to be in, or white people are going to be in 2043, median household income, okay, median household wealth, I mean. And look at white people. It's like over $1.2 million on average. This is serious, not on average. It's the median, okay? It's a lot of money. Look at black people. 2013, so go back one. So this number this right here, which is almost $100,000, go forward. Then we say, that's this one. And then where are black people going to be in 2043 on average? Right here. They'll do a little bit better. Nothing compared to white people. And I think, how is that? You know what I mean? Like, so maybe, what's going on? Is it when I'm speaking to the class? Like, say right now, people like me have talked and said, hey, you got to invest early. But, I don't know, black people in the class, you all are busy doodling or something. You're not listening to me. Or maybe because, I'm a white guy, so you don't trust me. So, you don't follow what I'm doing. But all the white people are like, oh, he's like a white brother, so I'm going to follow this guy and I'm going to invest early or something. Is that is that it? Or is this something, what's going on that this number, that it just keeps, it's like this? What's happening?
What I'm thinking about, my initial thought was, is there a systematic barrier to black people investing, or is it from the black community themselves, the mistrust in the government and putting their money in a stock market in the government?
Okay, yeah, all right, I'm really glad you asked that, because these numbers aren't just investment. These aren't just investment numbers. This is everything. This is home ownership. It's automobiles. We generally don't consider it like secondhand cars, but maybe you own a really nice mobile home or a second home, or like certain things that are large perishable goods. That's what goes into this, okay? So it's not just that. It's actually just acquiring wealth. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Anybody else have any question that comes up? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. So we're relating the two bar graphs to the first line graph. Are they proportional then? Because we saw you were saying that it starts really slow and then it starts to jump more. And if you look at it this way, it's the same, right?
Yeah, it's not exactly the same, but it's how things work.
I feel like I'm kind of already onto you. I feel like I've already cracked the case, but I don't want to spoil anything yet. So I'm just ask, do you think this major gap / inequality stems from slavery?
Dude, well, let me ask you, what do you think?
I think there's this is a hodgepodge mega issue where there's so many things that goes into this. But I would say if you had to pick something that was the biggest contributor, I would definitely say it stems from the systematic inequality that comes from slavery. Sorry if that's a lot to follow, but I feel like I'm just going.
No, listen. No, I think it starts right. It starts anywhere, right? I mean, look, here. If I... it's like, what's slavery, right? Slavery is basically saying, hey, I'm going to start a race, and bro, can you just stand up really fast? You're going to be the standard. Just stand right here. So imagine he's the person. We're in slavery time, right? You're enslaved. I'm like putting a chain on you, okay? And he's here. He's standing here. And I'm running my race. I'm doing my thing. I'm not running a race, but I'm I'm doing my thing. You're not. You're back there. I'm accumulating wealth, right? And then, but I'm accumulating, but he's not really. Then I say okay, we're going to remove the chains. We're going to let him take a step. But now we're going to pass all these laws to ensure that he doesn't take more than about one step. Meanwhile, I'm just continuing along on my merry way, and then take another half step, and then, okay, we're going to pass some other laws, because, okay, but he's not going to compete with me. In 100 years are going to go by before he ever is able to really kind of compete with me. You see what I mean? And so but then we can't look at him and say, hey, well, dude, what's wrong with you? Why don't you catch up with me? Like, what's wrong? Like, you should have caught up. And so, and then this is the kind of thing that we do. Thanks, man. Okay, so you're right in that sense, very much. I mean, it starts.